step into the shadows of time where forgotten stories breathe new life. But first, hit like and subscribe to fuel our growing community as we surf around and find. Welcome to Hidden Past, the place where history unveils its secrets. The First World War stands among the most devastating clashes humanity has ever faced, claiming the lives of over 40 million soldiers and civilians alike. The existence of a trench soldier was nothing short of torment. They battled sickness, starvation, rats, unbearable stench, and the omnipresence of death. Most dreadfully, they accepted the chilling truth that death could come at any second. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover what life was truly like for a soldier enduring World War I trench warfare. Let's delve into the trenches. From October 1914 to March 1918, armies from Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and the Ottoman Empire dug in. These trenches were a network of muddy tunnels roughly 7 feet deep and 6 feet wide, lining the front edges of battlefields. While these ditches offered guards against enemy bullets, they paradoxically caused countless deaths due to their unsanitary, sewer-like environment. When picturing World War I trenches, you might imagine simple, hastily dug ditches. Yet, their layout was methodical and strategic. Both the Allies and Central Powers crafted trenches as defensive fortresses. The presence of brutal, heavy artillery compelled soldiers to take shelter. Thus, trenches became lines held without exposing troops to deadly vulnerability. The zigzagging trenches created turns and corridors offering soldiers vantage points and safe spots to hide. These patterns prevented enemy forces from easily breaching and wiping out entire units. Each trench had its distinct role. Certain trenches functioned as rest areas, others stored supplies, and some were designated for waste. While being covered in organic mud is a spa luxury for some, in World War I, extended time soaked in muddy, flooded trenches brought serious harm. The infamous trench foot, which could result in losing toes or even feet, plagued around 75,000 British soldiers alone. During the war, it became customary for soldiers to inspect each other's feet regularly, applying whale oil as a preventive measure. This condition could develop in any cold and wet environment. Even modern festival goers at Glastonbury, Leeds, and Download have reported trench foot from similar conditions. Despite medical advances, many soldiers still fell ill and died due to the harsh trench conditions, weakened by cold, damp, and filth. Lice thrived in the trenches, spreading diseases like trench fever. Rats were a constant menace, stealing rations and even biting sleeping soldiers. Sadly, these rat populations also contributed to one of history's deadliest pandemics, the 1918 influenza outbreak. World War I took a chilling turn on April 22, 1915, when German troops unleashed over 150 tons of deadly chlorine gas against French colonial forces in Ypres, Belgium. The U.S., entering the war in 1917, also deployed chemical weapons, with Harry S. Truman commanding a unit that used poison gas in 1918. Around 100,000 tons of chemical agents were used overall, injuring 500,000 and killing nearly 30,000, including 2,000 Americans. Gas attacks were terrifying and unprecedented, their lethality sometimes dictated by the direction of the wind. Soldiers didn't remain in trenches continuously, their tours lasted from 1 to 7 days, including time in reserves and rest. This rotation was vital to managing stress, though rest was often spent repairing trenches or, for some, visiting brothels. By 1918, 1 million French soldiers had treatment for STIs. The relentless exposure to trauma inflicted lasting psychological wounds, then called shell shock, now recognized as PTSD. Some soldiers suffering from this were unjustly court-martialed and executed for desertion or cowardice. 266 Britons faced execution for desertion alone. Trench food was another hardship. The British Army deployed 300,000 workers to supply food, but rations consisted mostly of boiled beef, bacon, vegetables, and stale bread, which often took 8 days to arrive. Soldiers devised creative meals by mashing stale bread with other ingredients in sandbags. By winter 1916, flour shortages forced bread to be baked with dried turnip, and the main meal became pea soup with horse meat pieces. Amid these hardships, the soldiers found solace in the alcohol issued, boosting their courage in the trenches. Despite the constant threat of battle, much trench life was marked by boredom, with waiting as the dominant activity. Military officials encouraged creativity to lift spirits. One remarkable example was the Wipers Times, a trench magazine produced by British soldiers near Ypres, called Wipers by the troops. This publication was rich with dark humor, poems, essays, and inside jokes, offering a stark contrast to war's grim reality. A brief moment of humanity shone through during the first Christmas of the war in 1914, when a spontaneous truce saw British, German, and French soldiers exchange carols, gifts, and laughter in no man's land. Soldiers traded food, cigarettes, and even played football together. Sadly, this fragile peace dissolved by the next day, replaced by renewed hostility. Subsequent truces were limited and often banned by high command but occasionally allowed to recover fallen comrades. World War I also left its imprint on language, with soldiers creating unique slang blending different nationalities and dialects. Terms like potato mashers for grenades, stormtroopers for lightning-fast soldiers, and basket case for severely wounded men originated during this conflict. The term cooties arose in 1915, inspired by lice-infested ducks called coots. Would you have survived as a trench soldier in World War I? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're here, explore more fascinating videos from our Weird History series. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.